The amazing people at Huion were kind enough to send me a tablet for me to review, and that's what we're going to do today. This is a Kamvas Pro 16, and just to start off, let's say it is amazing. Thank you, Huion. It will help me a lot. The timing was just perfect because I needed a new tablet for the computer because mine is from 2015 and it's old and it's all rusty. So yeah, I would buy one of these if they didn't send me one, so good thing they did. Thank you, Huion, again. I've been using this for around a month now, and I think it's enough time for me to give you my thoughts. For some context, my previous experience with drawing tablets were a non-display tablet, those ones that you just draw on something looking at another screen, and an iPad. So this is the first time I'm using a screen display that connects to a computer. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is the perspective I'm coming from. For those who don't know how this works, it's kind of like a monitor that you connect to your computer and you can draw on. So yeah, you do need a computer to use it, unlike a tablet or an iPad. But aside from the computer, they send you everything else you'll ever need. And those include cables, many cables that you can use for different devices, whichever you need. A pen stand, the tablet itself, of course, how could we forget? A stand for the tablet. Don't worry, I'll talk about each one of these with more detail in a bit. It comes with a glove and of course a microfiber cloth that you can use to clean the surface. What else do you need? That's all. A pen stand that comes with, I'm struggling, different nibs for you to change. And I can tell you, you probably won't go through every single one of these. These last a lot. So yeah, and it comes with the remover for you to take them off. So anyway, let's go into the details. How was my experience with this thing? Let's get started with the start. Me trying to connect this thing. You have two options of cables. One USB-C one that's much more compact, much neater, and one that's the 3-to-1 cable. And I was really excited about the USB-C one, but I couldn't get it to work. And I don't know if it was my fault, if it's something wrong with my computer, if it's something wrong with the cable. Maybe I'm just stupid, and that's a possibility, but I couldn't get it to work, unfortunately, so I did have to use the 3-to-1 cable, which is a bit messy, but it works perfectly, so that's enough. So yeah, that was a whole thing, but once I got it to work, that's where the issues ended. So yeah, the screen comes in this matte texture, which is very nice to draw on, and it doesn't have that much reflection. So I'd say it's pretty ideal, at least for my taste. I don't like to draw on straight on glass, and I don't like very textured screens either, so I feel like this is a perfect middle way between the two. And yeah, it does feel very nice. It has a resolution of 2.5K, which is very crisp. Another thing that's very important to me is that the screen is laminated, and that means the distance between the tip of your pen when you're drawing and the actual screen is very little. It's laminated. There are some tablets where there is a bit of distance, and that creates a bit of parallax where the tip of your pen is not touching the drawing, and that bothers me greatly, so I'm very glad that's not the case in here. But one thing that I had to adapt to is that it's not touchscreen, and I've been using an iPad exclusively for the last 3 years now. So yeah, I had to get used to a different workflow because you get used to the shortcuts, but it wasn't really that big of a deal because there are shortcut buttons at the side, and once I configured them to what I wanted and to my way of working, I didn't miss the touchscreen that much. So yeah, if you're migrating from an iPad, you're probably going to have a bit of a adapting time there, but it's not that great of a problem. So yeah, keep that in mind. I do advise you to configure those manually because there is a default setting, but the default setting didn't work for me, and it probably won't work for you because everyone has different needs. So configure them to what's best for you. We probably will have to test a few combinations to see what works best for you, but yeah, once you get there, the workflow will be amazing. Another thing I really like about the tablet is that it's light and small. It's really thin, so if you want to carry it around, you can without much trouble. crumble. I do advise you to buy a case for it or something to protect it because, you know, it's thin, it's fragile, so it's probably not a good idea to have it bouncing on your backpack. So yeah, that's one thing to consider. Another small issue are the colors. I feel like the colors will not come automatically calibrated, but I don't think any tablet comes fully calibrated. So you have the options to change like the temperature of the color, the hue, etc. So yeah, once you get the tablet, take your time to configure the colors to make sure everything is accurate. And of course, you're not going to use this thing laying flat on the table. It comes with the stand. It snaps to different angles for you to use. There are many options, but it's not fully free. You do have to snap to those specific angles. I know there are some models that give you a little bit more freedom, but honestly, I do think these ones are enough. One thing I want to talk about though is that the tablet is leaning directly into the metal, and when you move it around, I feel like it will start to scratch a bit in the back. This is not a problem I had yet because it's new, but I can hear the sound of it, you know, rubbing against the metal, and I do think it's going to scratch, which is not going to affect the functionality of the tablet, but maybe if you want to resell it one day, the scratches will decrease the value. So maybe put something between the stand and the tablet. I haven't tried doing that, but maybe that will work. But yeah, it's not that big of an issue. And now talking about the pen, it is very, very, very light. I'm used to an Apple Pencil and it's much heavier than this. Another thing that's very good, you don't need to charge it. There are no batteries, there are no nothing. You just pick it up and draw, which is very appreciated. It comes with 2 buttons that you can configure to whatever you want to use them for. And if you're not used to having a pen with buttons like this may be an issue. I lended this to my brother and he couldn't draw without pressing this, so again, there may be some time to adapt to it, but I'm used to it. I find it okay. It has 8,192 pressure levels, so you're fully covered. I guarantee you won't have a problem pressure-wise. It has a recognition for angles, up to a 60-degree angle. If you don't know why that is, there are some softwares that give you different brushes that the brush itself will change with the tilt. I personally don't use that. I deactivate it when I use it because I'm not used to it, but it's very useful for people who are. One thing that I have noticed though is that this rubber part in here collects a lot of dust and it's very hard to clean. Again, not that big of an issue, but an issue. You'll have to either clean this all the time or accept that you're going to have a dusty pen. Or maybe it's just my bedroom that's extremely dusty. That's also a possibility. Anyway, the pen comes with a stand, as I've mentioned, with the tips. And what do I have to say about the tips? There are 2 types. I caught it live on camera. The glue came off. What a big problem. Anyway, there are 2 types of tips that comes with this. The standard one, that's the one that already comes with the pen, and the felt tip, which increases the paper-like texture when you're drawing on the screen. And I'll be honest, I really love the felt tip because it gives you the extra resistance and it's very nice. It slows down the pen. I love it, but I'll be honest with you, this gave me sensory issues because once you start drawing, it will start making sounds and not very pleasant sounds. Maybe you won't care about that, but I did. So yeah, I do love using them, but I can't use them for that long of a time because they just start to. That bothers me. I have sound sensitivity, so keep that in mind. And let's not forget about the glove. It's pretty comfortable. I don't use it personally because I'm not used to using it. The feeling of my hand against the tablet doesn't bother me, but yeah, if you want one of those, it's included. So do I recommend it? 100%. If you're willing to deal with the problems that I've said, which I don't think are that many, but yeah, keep those in mind. They may bother you more than they have bothered me. So yeah, overall, it's not an expensive tablet if you compare to other ones in this class. It is kind of portable if you want to carry it around. It comes with everything you need. I can think of many more positives than negatives, so I would definitely recommend you buy it. And I have to say, Huion didn't ask me to say nice things about it, they just said review it. So yeah, I'm not just praising it because it's sponsored. I do actually think it's a great tablet. But yeah, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. The last time I posted a video, this channel had 1,000 subscribers and now we have over 250,000. What happened? I'll try to post more long videos and I hope you're here for it. Bye!